That divine urge, that something inside keeps going, yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's an unfulfilled dream. You're supposed to do it. Unbury it. Get going. It has the power, and we can go kicking and screaming, or we can be cooperative with it and allow the universe to support it along the way. Just take baby steps if you're afraid to take a giant step. You know, that children's game? You can take a baby step. You'll get there just the same as taking a giant step. So there are moments when one works better than the other. Test it out for yourself. And trust the unseen network of life. I think that's so rich. Trust the unseen network of life. Remember, we are dealing with the invisible. We're not dealing with the visible. That's the effect. That's what shows up. Right here and right now, in this moment, we are creating tomorrow. So we can be feeling love. We can be feeling joy. We can be claiming that. And it's going to show up tomorrow. It has no choice. Law will do that for us. Another topic heading, let the way you live love you. Do you do that? Do I do that? Do I let the way I live my life really support me and love me? I like to say I do. And I think most of the time I'm loving to myself, I'm supportive to myself, but I can look around and see certain areas in my life that are aggravating to me. And when I'm living in those situations, I'm not living in a very loving way. Doesn't feel good. And as I become aware of those spots in my life, I can say, okay, I'm still going through this experience that is not one that I particularly care for, but how can I be loving to myself as I go through it? Because that is what is going to impact the future. The universe treats me exactly the way I treat me. I can't treat myself like getting all uptight and expect the universe to provide me peace in my surroundings. So, one wise man that I encountered just a few weeks ago said, if you catch yourself being all uptight in a situation, you don't have to heal the whole thing in a moment. Just become aware of it and maybe relax just one little bit. That's loving. Just one tiny little bit. And see what happens. And I thought, don't have to do it all at once. Good, I can do that. And I did, and my whole situation, the one that I'm telling you about, has started to become much more peaceful. Imagine that. Gee, you'd think after all these years I'd catch on. Let the way you live love you. When you have an idea, a seed that you want to have grow, do you give yourself a sacred place? Do you protect a time and place to really work with that? That's important. Also, regarding support, if you share with people around you, who do you share your dream with? Is it with someone who says, way to go, I support you in that? Or do you share it with perhaps family members or so-called friends who say, don't you know you can't do that? Now, sometimes they're afraid that if you do it, they'll feel bad because they aren't. Sometimes it's jealousy, but sometimes it's really from good intentions. Somebody wants you to be realistic, for crying out loud. Tama talks about being realistic as being contrary to creativity. If we really want that creativity to come forward, we have to let go of all the so-called realistic boundaries. It doesn't mean you go out and live a life that people wanted to put you into the funny farm. But there's that process of letting go of some of those stringent ideas that you've grown up with, perhaps. And Terry Cole Whitaker, I'm sure you're familiar with her book, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. I love the title, and I don't think I ever actually read the book. I just love the title, and I got the message. I don't have to have anybody's approval but my own for living the kind of life that I really want to, as long as I'm not harming others, as long as I'm living more fully, allowing that dream to have birth and come forward. So rather than having to improve me, I just need to approve of me. So when you think about letting the way you live love you, just ask yourself, are you on your own side? And just notice the answer. Don't beat yourself up either way. Just notice, are you on your own side? Oh, if the answer is yes, great. What else can you do to support that? If the answer is no, what might be one small thing you can do for yourself to support you in your dream, in living life more fully? Here is my very favorite of the whole book. Just start dancing and the band will find you. Isn't that wonderful? Just start dancing and the band will find you. Really, this is just a repeat of the reminder to count on support you can't account for. It's the same thing. And I know I've had enough experiences in life to know that when I do choose to do something that I really want to do, all of life shows up to help. So whether it's singing and you want the full piece orchestra, or whether it's dancing and you just need a good dance band, whatever it is, it shows up when we allow it, and when we know it's coming, and when we go for it and do our thing. And the last heading that I wanted to share with you from Tama's book